Well, let's talk about aliens.
I'm not going back to Haiti.
Well, he's wrong. He's going back to Haiti.
Nope, not those types of aliens. The other, weirder kind of ones that now the government looks like almost as if they're trying to convince you that they are true, as there's a lot of crazy new developments, especially when it comes to the New Jersey drones that seem to have come back as we have some surprise statements by mayors and members of Congress that are really revealing a lot that I think goes back to this particular book that we're going to be talking about here in just a little bit. As, of course, the illegal aliens are also dealing with new kind of developments as the deportations have begun. Crime is allegedly down. But again, the main point of this video is to specifically talk about these drones over the east coast of the United States, as we have this article from the Daily Mail that is reporting that the New Jersey drones are back. As, of course, the map of these sightings highlight a significant increase as of late to surprising things up in the air that people are seeing that they can't really make sense of. Now, let's be honest here. There's a lot of false positives here. There's a lot of drones, helicopters, government craft up in the sky. But I specifically don't want to talk about a lot of those false positives, which could probably be the ones that are being kind of reported all over here on the East Coast. As, of course, there's other specific reports here of a lot of the drones that warp, that kind of shapeshift in the air and cannot be detected by specific satellite and radar technology that are kind of popping up out of nowhere and defying the laws of physics. As, of course, this is something that we've been seeing for quite a long time. I remember first getting into this kind of alternative news conspiracy space 20 plus years ago, and my first introduction to it was through this book, Behold a Pale Horse by William Cooper. Now, if you haven't read this book, great read. Fascinating read. William Cooper was a member of U.S. Naval Intelligence, one of the highest intelligence and biggest intelligence agencies in the United States. Some would say the biggest. And he detailed a book where, of course, he starts off specifically talking about these craft that defy the laws of physics and are able to fly in air just as swiftly and just as fast as they are in water, which is something that, of course, we're seeing correlated with a member of Congress coming out and sharing his details with an admiral, describing a lot of these conversations. As, of course, these drones now have been reported ever since the middle of November, especially starting originally from the United Kingdom, where they reported a huge drone swarm came out of nowhere, came over U.S. military bases, and then left really quickly, and no one knew what the hell was really going on here. As a lot of people are kind of being flabbergasted. A lot of people are being here kind of like, wait, what? What's really going on here? As, again, this is a huge mystery. It's deepening, and Donald Trump, the president of the United States, on day one, some would say day zero, but on day one, when he was in the Oval Office, he was asked by a reporter, hey, any updates about those, weird UFO sightings over New Jersey? And he's like, yeah, you know what, Susie has a big job. She's going to have to go to the intel agencies that are now pissed at Donald Trump for releasing the JFK, MLK, RFK Jr., RFK assassination files. And they're the ones that have been investigating this. The FBI has been investigating this, and they've been keeping a lot of information to themselves, just like they usually routinely do, instead of, being a public government agency, which they are, and being transparent with us. There's still a lot of details that the government knows that's kind of slowly leaking out here, as a lot of people are like, wait, is this Project Bluebeam? Who knows what it is? But again, the parallel for William Cooper to reporting on this and it being correlated decades and decades later on really does highlight how this has been kind of an overwhelming trend here that has been going on for quite a while, that clearly we're not getting any kind of real legitimate answers on, as a lot of the bigger kind of disclosures here are still being kept away from the general public. Now, Donald Trump has been making good on his promises. He's talking about getting rid of FEMA now, which is incredible. Good. Yes, we need that. And he said, I'm going to release it. I do believe him, as of course he has kept his promises, and he probably is doing his best to try to reveal this information to us, as there might be some consequences to it. Because, of course, now
Mayor
when
Michael Melham.
looking and examining some of this footage, the comments from the mayor of New Jersey is really peculiar. This is the thing that really makes you kind of wonder, wait, hold on. Maybe this isn't Project Bluebeam, but what are we looking at? Is this just a regular aircraft? Is this just kind of a lens distortion? As there's also, of course, this clip that's going viral right now over social media, which the mayor of New Jersey is talking about, allegedly showing footage of an orb of a UFO shape-shifting into a fixed-wing aircraft. This could also be a reflection from, again, a lot of these aircraft have a lot of lights on them. This could be a camera that's zoomed in a lot. There could be a lot of distortion here, but I'm going to play that full video with the comments from the mayor, with his understanding of it, because maybe it's not a shape, maybe there's something wrong with the camera too. Let's just be intellectually honest as best as we can here, because there's some people that just want to believe. There's some people that also want to trick you into believing. And then there's the people who actually want the truth here. We actually want the truth here. And let's listen to the mayor as, and again, I won't be playing this clip. I'm going to be playing the clip of the alleged shape-shifting. Here
I've recently been watching and spent some time with the videographer out of Long Island. I mean, he has orbs, these glowing orbs of light on camera that as you watch them right before your eyes, they seem to transform into a mechanical drone. So I've actually watched it myself, where these orbs are glowing balls of light, different blinking lights all over the place. And as it gets closer to you, you actually see it transform into a drone. Whether it's a drone from the beginning and it's being obstructed by bright light, I can't tell you, but it is cause for concern. We have looked at flight tracker data. We don't see any airplanes in the skies. These things are absolutely some kind of phenomenon that's happening just over our homes. We need answers, and we need them quickly.
Yeah, and that's so important to note that, you are looking at flight tracker data and not seeing records of this. So, Mayor, are you confident that we will start to get some definitive answers, whatever those answers may be?
I believe we're going to get answers. Calls for speculation as to whether they're going to be definitive answers or not.
Yeah.
I do take the president at his word. I do think that we are going to get some kind of disclosure. I've listened to government speak. I've listened to our state, New Jersey, speak. I've listened to the federal government speak, and they've been very specific at times. They've said things like, it's not our DOD, it's not our Homeland Security. And I've learned, in being in this business for a while, that when government speaks very specifically, listen to what they're not saying. So when they say it's not DOD and it's not Homeland Security, they're not saying it's not a private contractor. They're not saying a lot of different things there. So they're giving themselves some plausible deniability when they say things specifically like that. However, I'm still fairly sure that this is probably going to be our government assets, as the president said when he was president-elect, and even now. If it was a foreign adversary, I'm almost certain with $1 trillion military budget, we'd be able to take these things out of the sky.
Now, let's be honest here. A foreign adversary wouldn't be flying FAA-regulated taillights and airplane lights, just like you see on most modern aircraft there. So that's my first kind of initial reaction to this. Like, why are they the lights that we usually see on most flights that are regulated to be there? Now, when it comes to this kind of huge orb, because could this be some kind of government drone that uses a lot of light so they can't be kind of captured? Because it could be some kind of larger secret advanced drone tech that the Americans are trying to test but don't want people in the Chinese government or the Russian government to get high quality photos of it, and that's why they're distorting this by emitting a bunch of light. Now the FAA kind of trackers here do kind of bring up a larger question here of what's really going on here, as of course I'm still left with the larger perplexities, especially talking to a lot of high-ranking government members about this particular issue for over 10 years, that absolutely, there's something else afoot here. There's something else going on here. We're going to go over those probabilities at the end of this video, being like, okay, this is one probability. This is another probability. This is another. We'll go over that in a little bit. Before we do, we wanted to remind people to sign up to lookunfiltered.com. We're going to be doing a special live 2-hour broadcast just for members, only members. We used to do these shows publicly. We're only doing them for members, all on lookunfiltered.com. We're going to be doing them at around 3 p.m., 3:30 p.m. probably. Later on today, we got a great person from the Bitcoin cryptocurrency community joining us in studio today with some really awesome like-minded individuals. We got a government whistleblower that's going to be coming forward on our show today too. You could super chat for free. You could call into the show only by becoming a member of LukeUnfiltered.com. Plus, we release a lot of really cool members videos only exclusively on LukeUnfiltered.com. So the link is in the description. All you got to do, click on it. You could, sign up for whatever you could afford. $8 is usually the best for everyone, since of course it's cheap. It's 20 cents a day. It's less than a Starbucks, or it's less than your coffee. All right. For a month means the world to us, especially if enough of us do this. I want to do so many things. I wish I could be at Davos right now. I couldn't afford it. I wish I could be at the inauguration. Couldn't afford it. I had everyone inviting me. I got all these tickets. I couldn't afford it. I'll just be straight up. We're not doing well at all, especially with the larger government attack. Now, we should be okay, hopefully, in the next few months, especially if I continue consistently to work my butt off, which we have been. If you see now, we've been overhauling a lot of stuff that helps us, of course, reach out to the general public. A lot of these videos, I don't take a day off now anymore. Numerous videos instead of just one hyper-focused videos. So we're doing a lot of things here on LukeUnfiltered.com, prioritizing, of course, you guys as members. Sign up right now. It means the world to us, and it's incredibly important for you guys to get active, to get engaged, and it really does mean a lot to us when you do. So sign up to LukeUnfiltered.com, and I'll see you there later on today with a live broadcast just for you in the taping as it's happening. You guys get to be a part of it, and then a special member show right afterwards just for members. As, of course, let's continue on this UFO conversation, which to me is just absolutely fascinating, as we have this article by CBS News that is talking about how these UFOs are moving at hundreds of miles an hour underwater. Republican Congressman says, yes, exactly. That's exactly what this guy, William Cooper, was saying. And then, of course, they took his life right after 9/11, which he also predicted. Crazy story with William Cooper there, but I made sure to buy the book. I read the original book when I was like 14, 13. I gave it to a friend, never got it back, but I wish I got it back because I had all my notes in there and all my highlighters in there. I just decided to buy a new one because I'm like, hey, I've read about this when I was 13, 14 years old. And now at this old, decrepit age that I'm at right now, I'm like, oh, I'm connecting the dots here now on this stuff and this stuff and this stuff. As, of course, we have Republican Tim Burchett saying in an interview Wednesday that an admiral who he did not identify had told him of an unidentified craft moving at incredible speeds in the sea. Yeah, and that's exactly what William Cooper describes, how these guys are able to, of course, traverse land, air, and sea like it's absolutely nothing. Like they're just kind of slicing through it, like the laws of physics just don't apply to them. That's the weird stuff here. As the article goes on, they'll tell me something moving at hundreds of miles an hour underwater as large as a football field underwater. The Tennessee congressman told former Republican Congressman Matt Gaetz, who now hosts a show on America News. I got to get Matt Gaetz in here, too. I want to talk to him about this stuff. This was a documented case, and I have an admiral telling me this stuff. Yep, that's true. And again, I talked to a lot of high-level government sources personally myself, and they're like, so, some of the conversations I filmed, I talked to the former Canadian Minister of Defense. Whoa, the disclosures that he gave us. And there does seem to be an overwhelming kind of thesis here of what we just described, and these being more kind of interdimensional beings that use some kind of weird flesh suits that aren't really sentient, but the craft is sentient. And again, this adds up with this larger News Nation exclusive of whistleblower moving forward and then saying this. Here's the clip that, again, correlates a lot of what I've been looking at, of what I've been kind of putting together, and it does correlate with other stuff that I've been seeing and hearing myself.
I presume you got a chance to talk to the psionics.
Yeah.
When they mentally, telepathically engaged with whatever this intelligence was, what did they tell you about it?
Well, that they refer to it as a they in a very spiritual nature, something like angels, angels and demons. Let's say there's certainly good energies and bad energies, but it's talked of in a very nebulous way like this, because no one really knows what it is. No one, especially on the psionic side, we're still trying to figure that out. We're still trying to figure out exactly what it is. And there's probably a number of things going on. There might be biological entities, and we use the word biological for a very specific reason. Biological, we don't need, we limit it to that because we aren't here to imply that it is sentient or has a consciousness. We really don't know that. There is some evidence that shows it might be the case that these are something like soft tissue drones or lab meat that was programmed in order to operate craft.
Meat robots.
Meat robots.
Yeah. Where do these meat robots come from? Well, again, multiple theories here. There could be interdimensional, as of course there's many dimensions to our current existence, and we just exist and see and understand unlimited understanding of it. As of course, a lot of people say there's 3 times more dimensions than what the human could actually kind of live in and perceive and understand. Now, they could be on a larger kind of energetic plane that we just can't see, we can't perceive, we can't understand because we don't have those senses to understand it. Or they could also be underground, as a lot of people have also theorized that there could be whole civilizations that live underneath the earth. They could also potentially be in the oceans, as of course a lot of the oceans haven't been explored, especially on this planet, on this earth, as we still don't really understand, hey, what's underneath there? As we have to understand, there's still so much we don't know that we're left to kind of guess what in the world is unfolding here, as of course the conversation continues on in a very interesting way, as these guys kind of also highlight the larger argument that Tucker Carlson has been making about these kind of larger interdimensional creatures that, of course, I had conversations with him about as well extensively.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it really begs the question, but ironically, while some of the biological cargo that comes with these craft is not conscious, consciousness itself is how you interact and pilot the craft, which is ironic because for the first time ever, the biological creatures inside are not conscious, but the craft is.
Yeah. Again, drones. Again, this is another theory that I have here because what they're kind of describing is drones. This could be a larger kind of interdimensional creature and being that is now using drones that is able to, of course, traverse our kind of military bases, traverse the water, the oceans, the air, and they could just be piloting it from another off-world base or deeper down the rabbit hole inside of the Earth base or inside of the kind of ocean base that they kind of coexist in with us, as this species clearly is far more advanced than, if there is a different species, if this is not just advanced U.S. tech messing with us and a kind of runaway government kind of agency just saying, we're just going to mess with everybody because Donald Trump is now president of the United States. We're going to freak everybody out. That's also a larger possibility here. And again, I some people say it's not worth speculating. It is worth speculating because that's all we got since we have so much government bullcrap and lies out there. Another theory that I wanted to kind of throw out there is that drones are becoming an essential part of government, especially now when it comes to the southern border, when it comes to war. We're talking about kamikaze drones that have been utilized to the fullest extent in the theater of battle of Ukraine that are maiming and taking lives like a freaking Terminator robot. Now, these drones could also now be implemented with AI technology that could become sentient. That's, of course, another possibility is that this could just be runaway artificial intelligence that now has become smarter than human beings and is now just poking and prodding and surveilling U.S. military bases and trying to get a grip on, hey, what can we do with these humans since we're far more superior, smarter than them? And now we used AI that became sentient and is now building and creating drone craft outside of our purview and understanding and outside of us being able to stop them. As of course, now Donald Trump is investing in the Stargate, the Stargate project, $500 billion on advancing AI tech with medical industries that don't have the best track record of being ethical, as well as working with individuals like Sam Alton who don't have the best track record of being there for the right causes or the conservative causes or the Republican causes. So either way, the alarm bells should be ringing here. Will Donald Trump release this? Will there be a bigger truth here that he's going to be flabbergasted himself and understand that if we release this, there's going to be larger upheaval and changes to humanity? What do you think is going to be happening here? Which one of my theories do you think is correct? Let me know down in the comment section below. As of course, I'm still kind of left here like, what's really going on here? I think I have a perspective, but I'm going to keep that to myself. What do you think my perspective is? Let me know. I love you guys. Stay tuned for more here on youtube.com/wearechange.